Hello everyone, and welcome to part 3 of ranking every Pokemon based on how they would be as candidates in Super Smash Brothers. That is certainly one of the topics of all time so far. Yeah, let's just get started, shall we? Alright, and we're starting off strong, because we already have an improvement, because not only is Sceptile a fan favorite Pokemon, but additionally it's probably one of the best candidates that you could put into a Smash Brothers game. Like, just period. You know what? It deserves S tier. I don't care. No, I'm not gonna put either of these two on the tier list, because I don't fucking care about any fucking spin-offs that might make it worthwhile. And, oh, Blaziken. It's definitely a generic fighter. It's got fire attached to it, but like, I mean, I guess that plus it also has the starter bonus too. I guess I'll put in a Terrapulse Typhlosion. And anyway, look, the bottom of A tier is just fire. You'll see how common fire is becoming, and Swampert is, I guess it's not the worst choice for a, but at the same time, though, best I can do is at the bottom of B tier. It's the best I can give it. I guess it's, you know what, I'll put it low A. It does get the starter bonus, plus it can do some stuff, but I don't think it gets S tier material here. That's a shame, really, but it is so far a better set of starters than what Gen 2 has, which, I guess so far it's not that big of a bar to jump over. If I'm being honest, not that big of a bar to jump over. But at the same time, yeah, it is disappointing. Yeah, we're gonna have to eventually this is about as I guess, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but best, I don't know, I think it might, I don't know, who wants this thing in the game? I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell where to put this damn thing. So we're just gonna move on to Zigzagoon and its evolution. It is indeed a design. In fact, it's one of the designs of all time. Alright, so this normal form is gonna I don't know, I guess this one's gonna be... I don't know, nobody wants... I don't think anyone's gonna want this. And as much as I think I would prefer to see the Kiss variant right here, as much as I would like to see the Kiss variant of it, but we're not gonna bother with it. At best, I can give it good Echo Fighter, because I think it might be a good Echo Fighter. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it might be a good one. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah. No, we're not dealing with that. We're not. We're not dealing with that. You also know what we're not dealing with. Just no. Not even gonna bother with this. I mean, I guess these would make Echo Fighters, but I don't know. Alright, you know what, let's just move on. I don't even know anymore. Lomtad is not gonna get there in its evolution line. This design, I don't necessarily like it, but yeah, I don't like this design, and plus it's giving me C tier vibes. I know that there's probably a bunch of people that enjoy this thing, but I don't know, I don't really enjoy it. I'm not really that into it, especially as a Smash Bros. Candidate. Okay, we are in literally just an acorn tier, but thankfully it looks like it's part of an evolution line. I keep forgetting where I'm at. And, yeah, thankfully we don't have to deal with this BS, so let's just rank this as... But I guess this is a design that's, at the very least, I think C tier fits it. Actually, I'm not exactly sure, actually. I'm doubting myself, and it's really hard to... Okay, now we're into literally just a bird. Oh, well, everybody's heard about the word. Bird, 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 but bird's the word. Well, a bird, 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 but bird's the word. Well, a bird, 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 bird is the word. Bird, bird, but bird's the word. Well, a bird, 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 but bird's the word. Well, a bird, bird, bird. Bird's the word, well, bird, 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 bird's the word, bird, bird, but bird's the word. Alright, this fucking pelican thing, I don't know if this is part of an evolution line, actually. This certainly, even though it is, I don't know, I don't think it would ever make it in, and I don't know, I'm not sure if this is an evolution line either, but just in case, I'm also gonna rank it in the F, and even if it isn't, even if it is, like, do you want to see this thing in Smash Bros? Honestly. Alright. Alright. Now we're here. Here comes the big question. Do I let the internet ruin, or do I just rank it fairly? That's the big question we're talking about. And, at first glance, yeah, it might seem like I'd have to rank it lower because of the internet, but I don't know. I'm gonna say A tier. The only reason it's not S is because I don't know. I don't really think it's gonna be S tier worthy, actually. With that being said, next up we got another fucking F tier, which is brilliant. Just clogging up the F tier, which is always wonderful. Yay, we're clogging up the F tier. That's everybody's favorite thing in the world. Clogging up a tier and being predictable. Wow, how fucking wonderful. I guess it's a unique design, but it's also got no arms, and if you're gonna have no arms, at least get prosthetic ones. Because at that point, I'll give it a C. I'll give it like a high C, if nothing else, because I think it kind of just, I think it's got enough to at least have some fighting style, but at the same time, I'm not really convinced it should go higher. Let's see, hey look, we got actual fucking sloths in the game, man. I'm not sure if this is an alternate form or not, but I'm gonna rank them separately. This would probably be a decent candidate. I'm gonna say this is the C tier, E and S for the big fatso one. The lazy fucking sloth thing. I definitely see it packing a punch. While also being slow as hell, but doesn't that sound like Ganondorf to you? Slow and hard hitting. This is just Ganondorf, but fat and also a Pokemon. And also lazy. Which I guess would be implied with very slow attacks. It's just Ganondorf, but fucking strange inclusion nobody wants. And that's like a best case scenario. Okay, who the fuck is gonna ask for this fucking thing in Smash Brothers? And if I make a mistake regarding whether or not they're actually evolution lines or not, then I'll just, yeah, they're probably all gonna end up pretty similarly. This one, I don't know, I don't think this one could get it to Smash Brothers. And yeah, I'm kind of just going based off of how I could just imagine them in Smash Brothers. Yeah, they all can use some fucking elemental attack and all that shit, and would probably be, well, like, I'm just imagining them using regular hand-to-hand combat tactics and shit. I don't know. If I make a mistake, then that's on me, but I'd like to see. I mean, I don't know. You guys would probably, someone out there is probably gonna make a better tier list than I am, because they know how everything would work. But at the same time, everyone else would also be extremely biased, to the point where they probably put their favorite high up because it's their favorite, and they can imagine how they fight in Smash Bros. Because it's their favorite, and as such, I can't allow it. I mean, I can allow my own biases to get in the way, but at the same time, yeah, ain't nobody wants that. Ain't nobody wanting that. I'm gonna say that fucking... I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with this guy getting in. So instead, we're gonna be talking about Mr. fucking Big Meaty Claws over here. Cause what the fuck? You see this guy in Smash Bros, but at best I can give it a D, and at worst, what the fuck are we doing here? No. No. No, 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 no. We do not allow that. And for this fucking thing. I mean, realistically, who wants this? But at the same time, I'll give it some credit. E tier, probably mid E tier. Seems about right. No. And on top of that, this is just a regular ass cat. There's better options from here, and like, come on, mate, what are we doing here? See my... Nah, we're just gonna use this version here, and... I mean, you could see it using the fucking gem thing to attack. And because of that, we're probably gonna put this above the hit, maybe even above Houndoom, and see. This is about the best I can do with it, but overall, I do think it'd be an interesting fighting style. But at the same time, just because it's interesting doesn't mean I'm not. I mean, it is interesting, but like, it all depends on the execution, guys. It all depends on the execution. As much as I think that the Mega would probably be an interesting candidate for this one in particular, at the same time though, we've already made a rule that we're not ranking Megas and as such. We're just gonna be basing this off of this thing. It goes, I do think that this is an interesting little design thing, but I do have to rank it alongside Sableye here, and as such, just because it's an interesting mechanic and or fighting style doesn't mean that it should be inherently represented. It all depends on the execution, but yeah, we're gonna move on, and we're not dealing with this BS. We're not dealing with this. Yeah, and this one is just... I mean, this one's definitely the biggest C tier of all time, but at the same time, I guess it would probably also be an Echo Fighter too. Yeah, this is the biggest C tier of all time. Not really much else to say because if you want a giant fucking Godzilla-like character, you've already got two more iconic candidates that would probably fit better. Okay, well, they probably fit the exact same, but they're more iconic. But anyways, we're gonna not deal with that BS, and instead we're gonna move on. Ah, this is an interesting choice. One of the interesting choices of all time. Alright, I want to say this is actually a B tier. Only below Quagsire because Quagsire is more recognizable. But it is indeed a unique fighting style. Okay, you know what? That is indeed biased, but like, yeah, every choice is fucking biased. What'd you expect? No, I'm not dealing with that shit. I'm not dealing with that shit. There's no reason. This one, I mean, I guess I'll put it in E tier, I guess. Best case scenario, but realistically, who wants that? Next up, we got Plus Leminen, and the best case scenario, they're Ice Climber clones. Worst case scenario, they get labeled as Pikachu clones because of their history in Pokemon, and at that point, I mean, if you're counting them as Ice Climber clones, then I can see them being a good Echo, but at the same time, they'd also be bad Echoes if they were on anyone else, so we're gonna balance it out here and just rank them separately. Although I would see them be Ice Climbers, I'm just gonna rank one of them as an Ice Climber clone and the other one as a Pikachu clone due to the history, and I know I could have ranked Azumarill as a Pikachu clone, but like realistically, Azumarill is at best a semi-clone and at worst. What? Alright, where were we? Right, just ranked Plus Leminen as clones, and this one's bad clone because of Pikachu. This one's good because Ice Climbers, they're basically the same character, but not really. But actually, yes, they are. This one, they'd be a lot less interesting. Oh, what do you got? Oh, well, you got bug attacks. Like, who wants to see bugs in Smash Brawlers? Okay, yeah, that was all a joke, but, like, come on, mate. These two aren't really all that popular, and the ones who do know about them they don't really enjoy them all that much, I'll say that much. Ah, this one would, I'm gonna say at least maybe a D tier, low D. That's the best I can give it. I don't know, actually. Okay, we have Muck 2.0. And if you spell muck backwards, you get cum. But everybody already makes that joke, so nobody even wants to deal with that. Nobody wants to deal with that shit. And plus, this is also F tier anyways, because first of all, I can't see it jumping, and second of all, it looked like it moved really slow, if at all. This is just a regular ass fish. So automatically, fuck you, this is getting F. There's only one comedic fish in the game, and there's only one fish that you could consider comedic, and we've already ranked him, and yeah. Hey look, a regular ass shark. Outside of the trauma that Baby Shark gave me in terms of the word shark itself, I still don't think it belongs in Smash Bros. I don't know, I'm just gonna rank Wailord here because, yeah, there's actually two problems with Wailord. First is a pretty obvious one. Wailord is a whale. And second of all, you remember why Ridley couldn't get into Smash Bros. Before Smash Bros. Ultimate? Do you remember the reason why? Well, take that reasoning, but put it onto Wailord. And if you're thinking, oh, that's a bogus reason, well, riddle to me this, oh wise fan. How exactly would Wailord fight? Hell, how would Wailord move on the ground? Some characters can get away with floating, i.e. Mewtwo, but Wailord? You couldn't get it to stand if you tried. If you did it look cursed, so no, you really couldn't. This is gonna be very... no, we're not dealing with it. No. We're not gonna deal with this, cause I'm not gonna deal with this one, but just know it's actually just gonna get F. This one's getting F. There's a lot of F tiers, I know, but like, what do you want me to do about it? What do you want me to do? Please enlighten me what I should do. Please enlighten me. Normally this would get F tier, but I'm just gonna make the assumption that we're having this be its evolved form, in which case I guess I can see an argument for it being in the Smash Bros. Franchise, but at the same time, I'd rather see Ruben from Minecraft Story Mode make it into Smash Bros. Spinda, the most randomly generated Pokemon in the game. Or I guess rather game series. I'm not gonna rank it F tier, mostly because I can see it, kinda, but at the same time, who the hell wants this thing? Who the hell wants this thing in Smash Brothers? That's right, nobody. that being said, though, I don't know, this looks like an evolution line. And if I'm wrong, I'll go back and revisit it. Flygon, it's a popular Pokemon. It's getting F tier, but at the very least, we can rest assured that it is popular, alright? It is popular, but popularity doesn't equate to how good something would be as a candidate for Smash Brothers. And for this one, nobody hates this fucking thing, but you wanna know who would hate this thing? The people trying to put this thing into Smash Brothers. Those would be the people that would hate this thing. And with that being said, with that being said, this is definitely one of the choices of all time, I'll give it that, but like realistically you could probably see it sort of moving in some weird way, but realistically nobody wants it. The best I can give it is D, but nobody wants it, so I'm just gonna leave it there. And this is definitely one of the choices of all time, but you wanna know something? Yeah, No Mercy. It ain't getting away with being a bad rap just because. I mean, I'm not gonna let it get away with it being a bad rap or whatever. And you wanna know what else? This is indeed this is definitely the emo kid's pick for Smash Brothers, but I mean, I guess I can see it getting I'll give it a mid B, but yeah, not really wanting it in any way, but yeah. Now this is just a snake again. Do we need a snake in Smash Brothers? We don't need a snake in Smash Brothers. I want to talk about it, but I feel like I already went over it back with Arbok and Ekans. Alright, it was the other way around. Anyways, hey look, it's the moon. Hey guys, let's put the moon in Smash Brothers, why don't we? Let's put the moon into Smash Brothers, and while we're at it, let's also put the sun into Smash Brothers. Let's do that. Let's do that, guys. The best you can do is make a combined character, I guess, but even then, there's only so many moves you can get him before, like, Alright, well, while we're here, let's move on. No. I'm gonna leave it there, and best case scenario, this thing comes with it, but this is about as fish as you can get. without being a literal fish. But it is basically just a fish. Imagine a fish in Smash Brothers. I mean, you could see it move, but imagine it jumping. It's, I mean, I guess, oh wait, this is the wrong one. I guess you could see it, but, I guess, but, at the same time, I don't want to imagine it, and it's probably not going to get into Smash Bros. Anyway. There's so many options that you could end before it, yeah. Alright, this fucking owl. It's another owl, but yeah, it can look. It has the ability to look in every direction imaginable, but it's not gonna help it. And then for this, yeah, you already know how this goes, right? No, I don't think I'd want to see that. Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and put this into F. And then we're just gonna put this and we're gonna put this. Yeah, nobody even want. I don't really think anyone would want this in Smash Bros. But if we're gonna say that this is gonna go in high D. At the very least, it'd be an interesting character, but I don't think anyone would want it, or at least not enough would want it to where I would justify it, but Phoebus, this is one of the fucking hardest Pokemon to catch in its original game, from what I've heard, and I'm not dealing with that. Melodic, on the other hand, yeah, I guess you can make a moveset out of it, but I mean, I guess it's memorable enough to where you could realistically see Sakurai wanting to put it in his Smash Brothers, but maybe but then I'd have to imagine it jumping, and then I just have to put it back in F, and that is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Cast form. Shit, what do I even do for cast form? Oh, frick. Gotta roll below you. You know what, in light of this new aspect, we're making a weather tier, because we're making a weather tier just for cast form, which is a bad sign for them, but Uh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna forget about this tier, actually, so we're just gonna delete it, but just know that I just know that cast form is heavily weather dependent, and as such, I'm gonna have to put all the forms in F. Yeah, they are individually unique in some way. You can see we got ourselves fire, we got ourselves some water, we got ourselves wind, and we got ourselves fucking whatever the hell the natural is supposed to be. Is it supposed to be snow? Or is it freezing? I don't fucking know. Whatever, we're just gonna put cast form in F, mostly because of the weather aspect that is so intrinsically tied to them. It is so intrinsically tied to them that if cast form were to get into Smash Brothers, the way their gimmick would work would have to change drastically in order to fit with Smash Brothers in general. And with that being said, let's move on, and that's just a chameleon. Well, you want to give it fucking invisibility powers or some... Hell no. F. Actually, you know what? Probably... you know what? Fucking E, I guess. I don't know. Alright, next up we got ourselves... I don't know where to put this, but I don't know whether to put it in the evolution tier or F, but I'm gonna put it into F because it's not getting into Smash Brothers, that's for sure. Sure as hell would be a better choice than cast form, or literally the entire English alphabet. But the puppet that is actually filled with cursed energy that is so cursed that it quite literally cannot release the cursing aspect. Now that would be a proper ghost thing that could realistically make it in. For that, I think that alone, it would be a great concept. I think A tier might suit it. Alright, let's see here. I'll come back. I'll come back when I need to, but Dusk Noir. We're gonna put it into F because it's not getting into Smash Brothers. We all know that much. This fucker is just eking out to be in. Yeah, this one I guess is gonna go into This one's just not even worthwhile being on F, just It's just kinda there, it's not iconic enough for them to want to try, and it's also just... No, not really. Okay, we got a quadruped, but at least it can heal itself with the bananas. Or at least it can use the bananas as an item that it can drop to heal itself, which is a concept. But at the same time, that's just a concept. I think Chansey and Blissey would probably be a better candidate if you want to go down that route. But at the very least, it's not all that seen, I guess. I don't know. There's also Execute, which the Alolan form got the comedy tier, I guess, which looks like we're gonna be filling out another slot with it. In which case, why don't we just get this out of the way? Let's just get this out of the way. Yeah, let's just get this little fucking thing out of the way, and in which case, this may be the last comedy. This might be the last comedy one for a while, but it is higher than Voltorb and Electorb. Mostly because people would rather see Spheal. And plus, we already know with Kamikaze with Hero, self-destruct would be absolutely fucking stupid in Smash Brothers. But like Hero has Kamikaze plus the potential for an entire ass moveset. Electrode and Voltorb also have a Kamikaze-like move with self-destruct, but that's literally all they have other than a rolling attack that is already taken by Jigglypuff, an already bender candidate for Smash Brothers. You wanna know who else has the potential for a rollout that isn't in Smash Brothers yet? Fucking Miltank. Fucking Miltank. And already Jack is hard, and as such he's banned from my channel forever. I am only kidding, let's move on. Alright, this is just a bunch of keys here. No, it's not a bunch of keys, but it's just a bunch of whatever the fuck that's supposed to be. Fun fact, I bet. Fun fact. Jack's probably planning on getting a shiny Miltank, and who knows, he might name the Miltank Diane or something. Absol. Honestly, I mean, it does have a better moveset potential than other quadrupeds, but at the same time, it's basically just... I'm gonna give it a D tier alongside Ninetales. Or, well, alongside... You know what, I think it... you know what, maybe above, because I think there'd be some potential there, but... I don't know. I think it is a very Nintendo thing. It would be a very Nintendo thing to just add Absol for absolutely no fucking reason. Other than the fact that they're absolutely just fucking Nintendo. What do you expect? Hey, it's fucking Baby Wobbuffet. We're not dealing with that shit. I don't know. I'm not gonna deal with this. Hey, look. Is that Screech from Doors? Oh my goodness. Doors is one of the best Roblox games ever made. Who else would like to see Screech from Doors get into Smash Brothers? Okay, you know what? Okay, you know what? That Screech from Doors thing was just a joke, but literally look at this. I can hear it screech coming out of this fucking thing. Okay, yeah, we all know that Spheal was gonna become Smash Bros. I know that Spheal would probably be in Smash Bros. For comedy alone, even though it'd probably not be a great moveset potential, but you wanna know what else wouldn't be moveset potential? This Spheal. This fucking Seal in particular. as well as other seals, but we'll ignore the fact that we already ranked another one here. Okay, this is just... No. No. No, 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 no. This is literally just an eel, and as such, it does not get Smash Brothers privileges. Not sorry. Okay, yeah. More fish, anyone? At this point, I might just make a floppy fish tier. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. This is... I love this. It's absolutely just another fish. Just another fish. Do you want more fish, or do you want more fish? Thing is, if I were to count every fish as an Echo Fighter, the Echo Fighter tiers would just get clogged up, and as such, I'm just not gonna bother. I'd rather get the F tier clogged up, as well as the Evolution tier clogged up, rather than the Echo Fighter clogged up. Because, I don't know, Echo Fighters are more important than a bunch of fish. Okay, that is not true, but hey look, it's Salamander. It's a legendary, but I don't feel like it'd be a good candidate for Smash Bros. It would be a great candidate for an assist, but not as an actual fighter. I'd rather not deal with this. I would really rather not deal with this. Alright, now that we're out of that, we can finally rank Metagross, and it'd be an interesting design, but no, it would not be suitable as a playable fighter. I mean, I guess you could see it doing some attacks, but at the same time, there's definitely a blind spot above it, and there's no getting around it. Yeah, okay, so the Reggies, I guess they're iconic enough to be, considered, I guess, but I'm gonna put them at the bottom of D, actually, because I'm gonna put Regirock and Regice into D. Regigigas, on the other hand, I feel like this is probably gonna be the best suited candidate for Smash Bros. In terms of the Regis. And that is mostly because I think it's the most iconic out of all of them, but at the same time, I'll just put it above the Hitmons, mostly because it'd be a more interesting fighter than them, but remember, stay hydrated, guys. Latios and Latios. Know for a fact that one of them. I know for a fact that one of them had a scene with Ash, the guy from the anime, but at the same time, they should just remain as Pokeball assists. Also, their megas are too similar in color. Kyogre is, I'm not gonna deal with that, actually. I don't want to deal with Kyogre as a playable fighter. Yeah, there's not a lot of legendaries going above F tier so far. That might change in the near future, but Groudon, I don't want to see Groudon above. I don't really want to see Groudon outside of a Pokeball, and maybe a background element in like a stage or two, but yeah. Yeah, I keep scrolling too far. Rayquaza is definitely, I know Rayquaza was a boss battle back in Smash Bros. Brawl, because I played Smash Bros. Brawl. Should be a no shit Sherlock type of shit, but alright, Jirachi, you're up, and so far, your best bet is also sticking in the Pokeball. Alright, why do I keep scrolling too far? I have no idea, I'm just scrolling too far and I cannot do that for the life of me. We're just gonna have to, I don't know, Deoxys, I'm gonna put Deoxys and F in. For the rest of the forms, do I rank the rest of the forms, actually? Do I do that? Yeah, I'm just not gonna bother. I probably made a mistake in one of these videos somewhere. Yeah, Flygon. Flygon looks like it would be a Gen 1 Pokemon, if I'm being honest. Yeah, that's just how it looks. It looks like a Gen 1 Pokemon. It's just hilarious because it's not, for some reason. Who knows, maybe I'm being Mandela affected. Oh god, I'm gonna have to pause the video here. Okay, so I was just looking around and my channel and just noticed that this camera here was glitched out, so now I replaced the camera with this alternate camera that I seldomly use. I'm just gonna adjust it so it's slightly more in tune, and yeah, let's see. Anything I would like to change? You know what? I've seen this in a fan project. I'll move it up the tier list, maybe around here-ish. I've seen this in a fan project, so I've seen a fan project of this, especially when I was playing with my brother. But I ended up losing because he just played an overpowered anime character. I know it sounds like I'm just trying to hide the fact that I have a skill issue. You know what? Maybe I do have a skill issue, but like everybody has a skill issue against fucking overpowered anime characters. The only reason why I picked Gardevoir in the first place is because I know the urge to game like it. So it was like, you know what, why not pick the funny one that YouTuber likes? That was fucking stupid reason, but yeah. That being said, though, I have seen a moveset where, yeah, it works, I guess. You know what? I'm convinced. Not convinced enough to put it into S tier, mind you, but convinced enough to move it up the A tier standards, I guess. Kind of weird that the only Gen 3 representative in S tier happens to be a starter, though, so might be convinced by the comments, I guess. But you know what? Knowing you guys would probably fucking flame me for not putting her anywhere near the bottom. So you know what? Just fucking. And I know it's not gonna be the first time I have to deal with this sort of shit. So you know what? It's not gonna be the last time, and I'm sure it's probably not gonna be the first where I'm gonna be judged for my placements. But you know what? Fucking, I'm just looking through, and now I think I'm convinced on what I see here, and you know what? This feels right. I don't have a feeling of any adjustments. Again, good echo does not mean good representative as a fighter, but it's weakly tough, okay echo, yeah. I don't know, actually. I don't feel I need to do anything, really, and yeah, this is what I've gotten so far. And remember, guys, there's part 4. Well, alright, so this is gonna be what we're starting off with, part 4. And remember, guys, if you got harmed at any point, you're permanently banned from my channel. And with that being said, the watching eye always remembers. Alright guys, I'm gonna see you guys in a moment, and with that being said, recursion.